as much. See, that still makes my throat dry. But there's a very important point there, which is, do you want people to stay connected to you, to stay committed, aligned with you? The job is to come to like them and to express it, to show it. And then there will be this willingness to be with you, and you will take care of them because you like them. I mean, it's a good system to think through. Okay, the last of these principles I want to talk about is cooperative efforts. We like those people who cooperate with us toward common goals. No surprise, I think, there. What's difficult often is to remember that that's the case, that even people who are at loggerheads in some kind of immediate situation, if they are reminded of the fact that there are mutual goals that they share, there is this superordinate, to use the language of social science, superordinate set of purposes and intents that applies to all of them within the category. It can change the way that they respond, and they move from a competitive to a cooperative orientation. I'll finish by just telling you a brief account of something that happened to me along this dimension. I used to belong to a health club in my neighborhood. I loved it because it was about halfway between my office and my home. I could get there in either direction. My friends were there. It was very well kept, very well run. It wasn't expensive. They didn't have a lot of things that I didn't use. I liked this place. Well, I used to go and do a workout, and I lived in Arizona, so typically I would wear a t-shirt and running shorts. And this one day I went to the trunk of my car where I kept my gym bag, and I was carrying my wallet and keys because I didn't even have pockets in my, right? So I took my gym bag out, and for some reason I transferred my wallet and keys to this hand. So I put them down and then took out, and I closed the lid of the trunk and said, "Oh, Cialdini, you've just locked yourself out of your car. Okay, now you're going to have to go in and mildly embarrass yourself and say that you've locked yourself out of your car." So I did. I went inside, and there was a guy, the assistant manager, behind the desk doing something with towels. Have you ever noticed this? They're always doing something with towels. And I didn't really know this guy. I had a few corridor conversations with him. Hello, nice weather, that kind of thing. I had been a member of the club for 3 years. But I thought he knew who I was, and I said, "I feel embarrassed about it. I just locked myself out of my car, and I would like to use the phone back there behind the desk to call and get my other set of keys so I can get into my trunk." And he looked at me and said, "No." I said, "Oh, you don't understand. I'm a member here. I've been a member for 3 years. You know me. You know me." And he said, "I'm afraid you don't understand, sir. That phone is for the use of our staff and our salespeople. In fact, I let one of our members use it last week, and she abused the privilege. She was on for 40 minutes. One of our salespeople said he thinks he lost some business, and so my manager told me I couldn't allow anyone else to use it." And I said, "But I don't even have a quarter to make a call at the phone, at the payphone." He said, "Well, I'm sorry." And he turned and he started doing things with towels again. Well, I became enraged. What? I've been a member for 3 years? And I'm in a fix now, and you won't even let me use a phone that's... You've just lost a customer. And I said, "That's it. Resign me from membership. I quit. Goodbye." And I turned on my heels, and I stomped out. And where was I? I was in the parking lot. And remember, before I said I was worried about being mildly embarrassed, now I was mortified because I had to panhandle quarters from passers-by on the street. It was a lose-lose situation. You've heard these marketing people talk about win-win situations. I had managed a lose-lose situation. Think about how different it would have been, however, if I had begun with a different context, one that really did apply there, but I wasn't a detective enough to locate it and bring it to the surface. And that's the context of cooperation. We did have mutual goals. We both wanted me to be happy in that place that ran well, where their phone could be used and they could get business and they could continue to flourish as a business. We both wanted that. Instead, we were focused on the things that we wanted individually, not on the things that we wanted cooperatively or mutually. And so I wanted this, and he said no, and I pulled and I pushed, and then I just broke away. Suppose I had said instead, Stan, he had his name right on his shirt, Stan, I just locked myself out of my car. How can we cooperate to get me my keys? Suppose I had put it in the context of cooperation. I had led with that. What could he have suggested to get me my keys? He could have made the call. What else? All right, what else? Okay, right. All right, good. Look, in the space, once again, 5 seconds? Just heard 3 answers that are vastly better than the one that I chose. He could have made the call for me. He could have given me a quarter. I like that he could have lent me a quarter. He could have lent me a quarter. I would have gotten my wallet, taken 25 cents, and in an exchange, in a reciprocal exchange, given him his money back. And he wouldn't have been out 1 penny. But you wouldn't have been able to get me out of that place with a crowbar after that, because they would have just cooperated with me toward my goal, the common goal that we had.